Hello.
We're missing a soft chair. I know, look at this. That one looks really uncomfortable.
It does, doesn't it?
You just get a cool butt.
It's okay. My meaty ass will not.
I love how that was timed just as someone was walking past the door. Wonderful.
Oh yeah, it's
the option of
recorded.
this.
Now the whole world knows
There's
about
a
your
reason
meaty
why
ass.
you're my student host.
It's actually my bony ass. I don't have an ass.
The plastic one looks a bit more comfortable though. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
We have already had a conversation about how you don't have an ass.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 18 of Splitting Pixels. I thought we would start off with pretty much what is the elephant in the room. We've all, but Matt, been playing Fallout.
The really exciting elephant in the room.
And Matt has just basically been having to listen to us talk about Fallout.
Yep.
But I want to, when you edit this podcast, I want you to do a hard cut of, months ago, and Alice was like, they're not going to announce Fallout 4, it's not going to happen, and then us just like, wee!
I don't know what she's talking about. So
We have
I don't know either,
recorded
but if we have
No,
audio...
it was when we were deciding what we thought would come up at E3 because Bethesda announced they were going to do the press conference, and we were like, "Oh, it could be something really cool." And Alice was like, "Nah, it's going to be something shit."
Wow. A lot of shit, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's
Well,
true.
I suppose. But Dishonored 2 as well.
Yeah. But
Still,
we did
still
kind
had to
of
come.
call that.
Yeah, we did.
Mhm.
We totally did.
Yeah. Cool. So, I think at last count I was about 9 hours in.
I'm about over 7.
Yeah, I think I'm 7 hours too.
Okay. And Matt, you've accrued all the time of listening to us. You're probably about 5 hours in.
Oh yeah, easily.
So, is anything really jumping out at you guys as being something that you know you're going to spend a lot of time doing or enjoying? Or?
I'm just obsessively tidying up Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to leave, and now I'm scared to go back because I'm worried I won't be able to leave again.
Yeah, I entered the workshop menu, and it gives you that new HUD, and it's almost like being in Sims build mode.
Mm-hmm.
And when my cursor went over a tree on the ground, and it was like, scrap this for 100 wood, I had that moment where I was like, I'm going to be spending a lot of my life on this. And I just went around cleaning up everything, yeah!
Yeah. So we'll try and keep it spoiler free. Anyone who's seen any of the trailers or the promotional stuff for Fallout will know that basically there is a base building mechanic to the game. You're given certain spots that you can, if they have a workbench, you can build something out of it. So a green circle will appear around a kind of designated area, and you can place basically whatever you want inside it, and you can scrap anything that's inside it as well. So the first place that you see that's like that is this place called Sanctuary Hills, it's like a slice of American suburbia, really, is how you could describe it, just post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
So,
It's awesome.
yeah. I think we're hearing Matt's phone going.
Unbelievable. It's not my phone.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right, you are being thrown under the bus.
but the base building stuff, it made me understand Fallout Shelter so much more, because it felt like Fallout Shelter is just a mini version of it, because you're regulating the power and the food and the water, and that's kind of what you do at the base. There's the HUD at the top, and even the happiness and stuff is regulated. And I was like, oh, okay, it was almost like a mini tutorial to do the base building.
Yeah, I can kind of get where you're coming from there.
They kind of were giving us a flavour of it before the game.
For
came
me, Fallout Shelter takes so much from XCOM. I couldn't see anything but XCOM.
Really?
XCOM, yeah.
Yeah, but I know, but I thought of it more as a Simpsons Tapped Out than an XCOM.
It's more of that 3D side-on view.
Yeah, I suppose.
2D side-on view, and then it's kind of cut into the side of the mountain, and then you assign rooms. But no, I can see where you're coming from with the whole resource management thing.
I just like the thing that you spent that time in Fallout Shelter building water purifiers, and then that's what you build in Fallout 4, and then there's the radio tower as opposed to the radio room
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So it was kind of pointing you towards
Gotcha.
the things that you would have to use in the actual game.
I don't think I actually have a radio tower for my base.
No,
My
I
base
don't,
is very simple at the moment.
Yeah.
Like I've just done the mission, you know, where they just it kind of is like a tutorial into the build mode basically, and
Mhm.
I've just
you
done
have to
that.
have the perk to do the tower.
Is that the Wasteland Leader or something?
Yeah, I think something like
That's one that lets you basically. So you have these spots dotted around the map, and there are people basically. You'll do missions for them. They'll ask for your help, and if you save them from, say, a band of raiders or a couple of wild animals who have been terrorising their town, they will join you, and so that settlement kind of comes under your protection, and then you can run caravans between them, which is kind of cool. So they'll always stay supplied, and it means that something that's like so a lot of the game, I guess one of the massive things that's changed is in Fallout 3 when you found like just crap, like old tires and like
tin
planks
cans,
of wood.
so
and,
many tin cans.
yeah, now they're actually useful because you scrap them and you get stuff for base building out of it. But it's also really handy because it allows you to mod your weapons and stuff.
And your power armor.
and
If
armor.
you want to put stuff on your power armor.
Yeah, I haven't really touched the power armor yet because I didn't really enjoy being in the power armor too much.
I just didn't like how slow I was, and I felt like, you know, the power armor's always been more of an end game thing.
Yeah, that was one thing. Like,
I mean, I guess it does kind of like let you get into more of the modding side of the game. Like they're like, here's this really cool thing, but you can make it so much
Yeah.
better. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's
I
true.
get why they did it, but it just felt weird to be given it. So
I know what you mean.
I like that you could paint it different colours.
yeah, mine's blue.
Like you can unlock different patterns for it and stuff.
But I mean,
That's
you
really
use your
cool.
scrap and
Like
stuff
Paisley.
for doing that.
Yeah.
Paisley body armor.
You have to use your scrap, and I was really low on like aluminium and screws or something like
Where
that.
the
Gotcha.
fuck do you get copper? Because
Oh, I think I
seriously-
found
Phones, you get them from phones. You get them from
Vacuum tubes. I
vacuum
think?
tubes, hot plates, and fuses.
and streetlights.
Have you been marking
there's just
stuff
not
for
enough.
searching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
simple.
like, how many telephones can you really carry? Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One thing
Um,
that surprised me, this is sort of like meta game territory, but you both, Ross and Alice, you made yourself in the game. And I know that with Alice, it's
Kind
not
of.
something you normally do.
No.
But you both gave it your own name, and I was just
Yeah,
wondering,
I
like,
gave
thought
it
process.
My own name because I wanted to freak my mum out. Like, that's
making
literally the
Codsworth
only...
say your name.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So then when she walks in and I can be like, hey Codsworth, and it'll go, hey Miss Alice, and it's like, oh yeah. And I'll be like, how does that robot know your name? Oh my god, what
See,
is happening?
I made myself Valkyrie because I just like I saw that Valkyrie was a accepted name that Codsworth would say, and I was like, shit, yeah, that's awesome. And so walking into the house and Codsworth going, hello, Miss Valkyrie, and I'm like, hey.
It's really hard to feel badass when there's a posh robot calling you Miss Alice. Like, it's difficult. I have to try really hard.
And I also like in some games I'll try and make someone who's like a cooler version of me, but with this I really wanted to get into like the roleplay element. And I was like, if like this is slight spoiler territory, maybe don't listen for the next minute if you're concerned, but it was in the gameplay footage and everything. Like, it starts before the apocalypse, you have a husband and baby, and I was like, well, I don't have a husband and baby, I don't fancy role-playing that I have a husband and baby.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make a woman, and I know that after the apocalypse she is going to be pissed off and wanting to find out what went on, so I've made sort of like a silent assassin who's just kind of wanting to get shit done.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying it. It's really fun, like, because normally like games like Mass Effect you want to try and be nice but forceful to kind of get stuff done.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, I'm a pissed off woman. I'm not going to be nice to people just for the hell of it. So I'm just really enjoying like
I think
choosing that.
Fallout facilitates that really well. I think it's always been one of the games where it feels bad. It feels good to be bad sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you get to say, like, I love using the sarcastic button.
Yeah. I love how it doesn't even tell you what it's going to say. It's just like, be sarcastic, and it's like, okay, then what's this going to be?
Yeah, it's really good fun.
And
Although-
like when people are like, hey, can you go take care of these raiders? I'm like, okay, and come back, and they're like, how'd you do? And I'm like, I took care of it. And they're
Yeah.
like, okay, and I'm like, yes, I felt so badass.
It's been fun, just kind of like, I can see why a lot of people are maybe upset with the scale of it. They don't think it's big enough, which strikes me as odd because it's so much more dense now.
Yeah.
Like, as much as a lot of open wasteland gives a sense of scale and desolation. I still think that there's enough of that, but there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, like it took me 2 hours to go a really short distance because I came across like little things that weren't necessarily quests, but it was just like set pieces where you could like kind of find a story behind it. And then I went into like a radio tower and looted that, and then I found like I told you about like the mole rats with the explosives on them.
I still haven't found
and the
that.
rad scorpion, and so I came across so much stuff and like so many little stories that weren't quests but just like their own sort of thing. And just like 2 very close together locations that could have taken me 2 minutes to run there, but it took me 2 hours.
It's one of my favourite things about video games in general, but the Bethesda games in particular. I've probably spoken about it on the podcast before, but the concept of environmental storytelling, where you're not like you're not reading a book and you're not being told it in dialogue, you're finding something.
Yeah, like
something.
the skeleton in the bathtub surrounded by mannequins holding machetes.
Yeah.
Is that a Fallout 4 one?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I've seen him yet.
It's... Oh, where is it?
I don't really want to give too much away. But yeah, you can find that pretty early on.
And the skull's in the toilet.
Yeah, I found like when I found that rad scorpion, it was weird because it was almost as if the rad scorpion was sentient because they'd put a mannequin outside of the hut, and at first I was like, oh, there's a guy, and then I was like, oh, it's just a mannequin. Then I went inside, there was another mannequin. I was like, oh, never mind. And while I was looking at this mannequin, the rad scorpion came out of the ground, out of my view, and I turned around, I was like, ah!
Yeah, they are pretty. They're pretty tough.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in the first one as well. In Fallout 3. But yeah, they're pretty tough in this one. I've only faced one of them on its own, and that was a bit of a battle. So
it had a star next to its name. Like I know if it's a skull, it's super, like powerful.
Okay.
Yeah, star means it's
legendary, and they give you a
I
special
got a
item.
legendary piece of armor, but like I wasn't that impressed with it. It was like just a leather thing, but
Yeah.
it was modded a bit. But you know, it was still like, even though it was legendary, I think it was still quite low level legendary. So it was okay. But yeah, that was
I got some spike armor, which is really cool. It's like it looks like kind of like American football pads with bent bits of rebar on the shoulder pads and stuff.
Nice.
Nice.
That's really cool.
I've kept like my my Vault 111 jumpsuit just because I love how colourful it is compared to the contrast, like the contrast into the landscape. But I put like leather armour on top of it, and for a while I had Raider armour, but it looked kind of stupid because it was, they clearly like scrapped junk and made it into armour, but the leather just looks really badass, and I've got like sunglasses on.
For the first couple of hours, my guy was walking around in a hard hat with welder's goggles and like a scrap top that basically meant he was topless.
Yeah.
It was very strange that it gave me better armour than my jumpsuit.
I'm just going to mod the jumpsuit to make it like padded and stuff, I think, because that's one of the other things I'm really enjoying about the game, like the modding weapons and armour and everything, because you can add like pockets, and you can add like, you can make the leather like boiled leather or another type of leather.
It's hardened and
stuff like that. And yeah, so that's really fun, and I'm enjoying modding the weapons as well, because it means I'm not carrying around loads of different weapons, because I'm like, oh, this one has this and this one, because I can just mod it to exactly how I want it and just use that.
Like, I think the modding system works really well in a way that most other RPGs have not touched, including Bethesda games, I think. They give you a real range of diversity. Like, you can take like a stock, a pipe rifle?
Yeah.
And you can make that into a sniper rifle, or you can make it into like an assault rifle, and you can change bits out, and they all have benefits and penalties.
Yeah.
That's made it really fun. So yeah, like I'm really enjoying exploring that world.
And also, I think people overreacting with the bugs. Like, people love to be outraged. I haven't seen that many.
Well,
and I'm on PS4, so
I went to the quarry that's flooded.
I have been there, but I didn't go in.
And the whole thing was like stuck on the LOD.
Okay.
So I was halfway in the floor because it was all that low res thing that's not actually the right size, and that was weird completing that quest, because I was like, I can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah. But definitely check in back in at a later episode, and we'll maybe not feel quite so bad about spoilers, and we'll talk a bit more about it.
I'm still debating doing a mini-sode, like just talking about
Fallout,
I'd like completely
I'd like to do that.
talking spoilers, everything. So go into it knowing that there would be spoilers. So I think like maybe just a little half hour chat about it would be good.
I'm just looking at the list because I've remembered something else that I've got to talk about.
Okay.
Because it was N7 Day.
It was N7
Oh
Day.
yeah. Well, let's talk about N7 Day. Another thing that Matt can just
For those who
sigh
don't
and shake
know,
his head
it's
at.
a Mass Effect thing because the ship you have in Mass Effect is the Normandy, and it's the logo's the N7.
Right.
So November 7th was N7 Day, and fans just get excited.
They released a video for the next Mass Effect game, which is called Andromeda.
Oh yeah. In fact, you probably would like this
Because it's the theory is that it's set like it starts just before the end of Mass Effect 3.
Mhm.
Okay.
So before everything goes to hell, and you have to make a kind of shitty decision. You're this new character who they think is going to be called Ryder after
Sean Ryder.
someone Ride, who's the first woman in space or something.
Oh yeah, okay.
You're basically sent on an arc to Andromeda rather than the Milky Way to try and find a new home for humans.
humanity.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, that could be interesting.
So the trailer was like really cool because it was all like old clips of astronauts
Yeah.
and people in space.
So
and
it's
shit
a
like that.
bunch of NASA footage.
Yeah,
Wow.
with Jennifer Hale talking over the top of it and basically saying this is Commander Shepard signing out.
Oh god!
And like I was watching it going, oh my god!
Oh my
Who's
god.
Jennifer Hale?
The
She's
voice,
a famous
the voice of
actress.
the female version
Yeah.
of Shepard,
Right.
So that was really
and a bunch
Emotional.
of other voices in video games.
Yeah,
as
she's
well.
a very
Because they
well
said-
She's
like-
the female Nolan North.
basically.
Yeah.
Because they said that Shepard isn't going to be like in it anymore, so that's basically the last you're going to hear from Shepard is her saying, like, sending off your new character
Oh god.
into
awesome.
finding
I'm
a new
already
home.
emotional.
So,
Like I haven't finished Mass Effect 3 yet. I'm about halfway through.
Well, I saw that you were playing it.
Yeah, like because I've definitely spoken about this before. I'm just reluctant to get to the end of it because I know that there's going to be a shitty decision, and I don't want it to end because I love that universe so much. I love just walking around.
You just get all the DLC and postpone the decision.
Yeah. But God, I feel like my Shepherd is so close to my heart because like there's so you've made your own world and your own like
She
relationships.
travels, like, your character travels a long way from Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 3.
and she never even gets a fucking promotion.
I know.
Well, she's kind of like a special agent.
Commander
Like, this
Shepard
is-
from start to
This
finish,
is a
never the
mini
captain.
spoiler. When
Well,
Ash-
Commander's above Captain.
That's not.
I thought it was in the Mass Effect universe.
Like,
Well,
she-
I think it's different.
She's a Spectre, so...
But like
You're
this is a
not
thing that
wrong.
kind of annoyed me when Ashley Williams / Caden get made Spectre. I'm like, sorry, what have you done? Like, I mean, you're okay and everything.
Sorry, Matt's got his fingers in his ears.
It's not really that big of a deal. But I'm like,
You're never
yeah,
gonna
you're
play
fine.
it anyway. You're going to be finishing Mad Max
And you don't
for
know-
the end of the days.
I'll have you know I've downloaded the first Mass Effect and I'm going to download the second.
You were downloaded it about a year and a half ago, though.
I look forward to hearing your
You
opinion
spent-
on Fallout 4 in 2023.
You spent the past week downloading Assassin's Creed, which I got you for your birthday like
Yes,
a
but I
month
can't
ago.
play every game. I'm still
This is something that
working
Actually,
through
no,
Mad
2
Max.
months ago.
I'm
play every game.
working through Mad Max. It's fine.
It's not
Are you not still on the first stage?
I drove to the second stage guy's house.
And then
but
you were like, "It's not for me," and then went back.
I went back to clear the first area because I know I won't go back when I progress. the
This is
game.
why you can do games. You can do whatever you want. You can play a game however you want.
Thank
to.
Or, not play games, as the case may be.
He's just
I've been
playing it
very
in his
busy
own
making
way.
models as well.
Did you get your Porco Rosso plane?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you did.
I'm saving that for later, but now I'll be making paper models.
Oh, of course, yeah.
The ABC Warrior from Judge Dredd.
Ah, yeah.
It's going along nicely.
Can you pass me the notes? I'm
Matt
just
is
gonna-
a big fan of Peppercura, which is it's like really cool origami almost.
Yeah, it takes models and unfolds them to their net patterns.
So
David feels really guilty that you've done this.
Why?
Because he just it was a suggestion, not like something that he desperately needed, and now he's worried that you're just wasting all of your time making this thing.
It's quite nice to practice for when I do models myself. It's just a nice run of it. I've identified things I would do differently for the next model anyway, so it's fine.
I've actually set myself a little mini project in making a thing because this is kind of back onto Fallout 4. Like, with the Pip-Boy companion app, like it's quite useful, but I feel like I have to reach out of the way to get my phone if I want to use it.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the Pip-Boy special edition sold out so quickly, and I kind of decided I wanted to try and make my own, so I've bought like a bunch of craft foam, and and I'm gonna just like see what I can make, like just for something to occupy my mind that's not a video game for a bit. Like I don't know, I just thought it could be quite a fun little project to do.
That is, yeah, I think it's quite important.
So I'm going to see how it goes.
There's Pip files for Pip-Boys.
Yeah, no, I've seen some. I've been looking up like other people who have made them and things like that. But I'm going to use craft foam and basically just like layer it up, if that makes it, and just see. Like I don't know, just something that can fit my phone, and basically, so I can have a picture and go, hee, I am a Pip-Boy, and then that'll probably be all I use it for. But I don't know, I thought it just could be
as
fun.
much as I will happily support anyone who has projects outside of video games. I recently catalogued all of my Warhammer stuff to sell it, and I cannot believe how much money and time I spent amassing a collection that's like half of it is painted. Makes me feel very sad.
Yeah.
But at least with Paper Cura, you don't have too much to. Like, you don't have to invest too much.
I guess not. No.
Just
your
company's
time.
paper.
It depends. It's actually my
Is it
paper.
the
No. I brought in.
Actually, no, I didn't notice you
much
had a
heavier
paper.
stock. You don't use
Our
regular
paper's
paper.
not good enough for you.
Nope.
Wow.
It's far too thin. No, it's not too expensive. It depends how far you want to go. There's guys online that fiberglass their tubs or helmets, and they have collections of all the Stormtrooper variations and things like that, because it varies between movie and everything else. It's
That's
really
pretty cool. Cool. So another thing that actually just popped up in my newsfeed this morning. I'm guessing this might not be the right crowd for it, but I saw that Cloud had been announced for Smash Brothers.
Why
That's
would you think this wouldn't be the right crowd for that?
Well, the only person I know who is a fan of Smash Brothers is Matt.
Hello?
I don't think I've ever heard you talk about Smash Brothers.
I've got it on the day it came out,
Oh,
and I
right,
have
okay.
like 5 amiibos.
Well, I know you have a big amiibo or a bigger amiibo collection than I
No,
do.
I
I
think
got
the
it.
issue is that the people who like Smash Bros don't really give a shit about Cloud.
Like
I've got
I
friends that like
appreciate Final Fantasy. It's just one of those things that it was like, you know, it came out when I was a kid and couldn't afford video games. That I've spoken about that before as well. But yeah, I'm glad that they're branching out into other franchises, and I think it'll be really awesome to see.
It's really weird though, because of all the characters to pick, Final Fantasy VII was the game that took Final Fantasy away from Nintendo and put it on a console that was built despite Nintendo.
I guess, yeah.
I just found it a really strange choice, but
Cloud
it's
is
cool
very
to see.
iconic though.
Absolutely.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe they're equally excited about the reboot as everyone else. I don't know.
Did anyone see the trailer for it?
No, I didn't.
It looks like they're basically going to give him a range of special moves that's better than anyone else's. He has limit breaks
Right.
in Final Fantasy VII, so like all of his special moves look like they're in the game.
Can you get the fat chocobo?
There are chocobos, and there's also summons. So like Ifrit
Wow.
and Shiva,
But he
and
can't summon, that doesn't make any sense.
well, I think you might have to equip him with materia before the
Oh,
fight,
no, yeah, that makes sense.
because I think that would be really cool.
Does he have an amiibo as
Is
well?
this still in Smash Brothers?
Yeah, Smash Brothers.
Well, maybe a super move. There's other characters that you call in, where you isolate. If you make contact with your super move to your enemy,
Yeah.
it goes to a little cutscene, and your friends can jump in, and then you all beat up the guy.
Okay.
I forget who it's with because I never play with him. But
Oh, that's totally fat chocobo territory.
Yeah.
Or just like smushing him, sitting down on him.
But you obviously hear the battle music from Final Fantasy VII,
Yeah.
but it's difficult to tell. Like, surely they're going to have that in the game, because they
have a stage to go with the character.
they have a Midgar stage,
Yeah, I imagine they'll have the music.
which is gorgeous.
Is it low poly Cloud? Because that would be really cool.
No, it's like
It looked a
Kingdom
little bit low
Hearts
poly in like the
esque.
pictures I've seen.
like
Yeah.
he's
Like
not.
Advent
He's
Children.
he's kind of cutesy almost.
Ah.
But I'm fine with that. It's just really cool to see.
They might make a skin for him
Yeah, low
that,
poly
that
would be
looks
pretty
low
funny.
poly at least.
So does he have an amiibo then?
I don't think so.
Because that would have been quite cool.
I would have really liked that,
Because
but
they're branching out with the amiibos as well. Like they have that Shovel Knight amiibo.
yeah. I don't
So-
know if Ryu's getting one, because I know Ryu came out as DLC for Smash Bros.
Yeah, difficult to control. I wish it was SNES. Well, the classic Street Fighter controls for him when you equipped him, but it's not.
The reason I mentioned that Matt likes Smash Brothers is because we had a competition a couple of weeks ago, me and a bunch of
Well,
friends.
yeah, but I wasn't fucking invited to that.
And
so.
Matt,
No, he said friends. Boom.
and Matt won the Smash Brothers competition
It did.
as Little
Lil Mac.
Mac. That's it. But it was only when I spoke to people about it that you have a very strong technique of hiding.
No.
You do, and you pick off the weakest. It's a very good plan. And if I was
It's happened to
Camping.
me whenever
I'm
I
not
play
even
good
surprised.
Smash Brother players.
If I was-
they just hunt you. It's crazy.
if I was paying attention, I probably would have done a similar
Well,
thing.
no, I hid for some things because Little Mac has extreme weaknesses in the air, especially if you get
Mhm.
knocked off a ledge. And so I prefer, just in Smash Brothers in general, having a plain level. I don't like
Mhm.
all the craziness. I just want to actually fight with items. But yeah, so those times where I'd suddenly notice I was at, I don't know, 124% health. So
You're
one
like,
hit was gonna
yeah,
kill
I'm
me.
just gonna get out of
So
here.
people were having a skirmish, I'd just let them do it and then I'd run up to them because the best thing about Little Mac is his speed and obviously
Well, his
just running
basic
into
attack.
one punch, yeah, a basic attack.
So you fight dirty, basically.
No.
No, he's tactical.
Looking at the stats on, I don't own Smash Brothers, I don't have a Wii U, but
Mhm.
looking at the stats on my friends' games, and I'm not around there often, Little Mac has the most distance covered of any character because whenever I go there, my tactic is just run back and forth across the bottom of the screen and just punch anyone that comes near me. It's fantastic. But I did that a couple of times during the game, yeah.
But yeah, I
Tactical.
thought that it was really cool, and it's possibly a step forward between Nintendo and Sony to see, like, that is such. When
Was
I
there tension before?
yeah, well, I mean, the whole story of PlayStation is to spite Nintendo. They developed basically a disc-based platform together. Then Nintendo pulled out and was like, actually, we're going to go with Philips.
Did you see someone found one of them at an auction?
Yeah.
That old console, and it worked. Like they plugged it in.
It's
and
probably
it
worth quite a bit,
Yeah, I
but
think
there's
it
no
was like-
decent games on it.
I think it was like
There's-
5 figures. Well,
There's
they
those
don't need
two
games. People just
awful
collect.
Zelda games
Yeah.
that most Zelda fans won't recognise.
Yeah.
Really?
For the Philips, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, there was like a Nintendo Philips collaboration,
I knew about that.
and
but-
Sony was like, "Well, we spent all this money and developed this," and their CEO was furious. So he was like, "You know what? You guys have had it good for too long. We're gonna go in and put our console in," and then that's how PlayStation.
That's
was
how
born.
it started, yes.
Yeah.
But surely there's no animosity remaining.
Well, they're still competitors.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
But that's-
Nintendo always tried to say like, "Oh, we're not competing with the big consoles," but they are. Like, still.
I don't know.
It's-
Don't know if they are, but I just mean the attitude from them. It's there's friendly competition. It's I guess when I was a kid it was Sega and Nintendo. You saw them at loggerheads, but now you get Sonic in Smash Brothers, don't you? And things
It's
like
because
that.
they
Yeah.
can't do much.
Yeah,
else
that's
with
because
them.
Sega are having a
Yeah.
hard time.
Sega are in a very different place now, of course.
Yeah,
But, yeah. Surprising. I didn't know it was like any animosity.
I think-
mean, aside from the very beginning.
I
of
think
course
there
was.
might still be, but I don't know. Like, it's so the waters are so muddied by the fact that fanboys blow everything out of proportion.
Oh yeah, of course.
And thankfully, there's no one like that here, apart from Alice, who's like a bit of a PC snob. But
What?
but you know, cool. So another thing was this week. It's kind of been eclipsed a little bit by Fallout, but the new Tomb Raider has come out.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
excited to play it, but I'm putting it off.
Yeah.
obviously.
I think my plan is for it to be like a Christmas game, like when I'm
Mhm.
chilling out, like off of work over Christmas, just sit and like explore that world because it looks awesome. But I'm busy with Fallout.
Part of me is considering getting it from my brother and just over Christmas break being like, right, okay, off. I'm going to play this.
That's a bit. But then again, I was thinking of getting Lego Dimensions for Doug so that I could play it.
To be honest, I wouldn't have a chance because my youngest brother like loves his Xbox. I'm pretty sure he just hoards it. So
Well, it'll probably, I imagine, it'll go on sale on like some holiday sale,
Yeah.
even if it's just like 20%. Like I want to play it, and it
Yeah.
looks really good.
it looks like a continuation of the story. The only thing I've heard is that the mechanics you still have to start from scratch.
I've heard it's been getting rave reviews, and most people seem to just be sad that the tombs and stuff are amazing, but they're hidden away from the main story, and it's almost as if like they couldn't find a way to incorporate them fluidly, so they just thought, oh, we'll stick them over here. But everyone seems okay with the mechanics of what I've read.
Okay, well, I mean, I haven't tried it. I'm just going on hearsay and what I've
Yeah,
seen in
yeah.
the trailers.
But I mean, the gameplay in the previous one was really fun.
Yeah.
it
Like
was
it's
so
the only
fun.
game that I've really played past the ending because I wanted to actually keep going to collect everything.
Okay.
Because it was just so fun to just be playing it.
Yeah, because I love like the climbing on the buildings and
Yeah.
everything, and it was
And
good.
the bow was good.
Tomb Raider
the
was
bow
the
was
one with
awesome.
the item, and you had to rotate a 3D
Yeah,
item
and then
to
Yeah.
find a spot on it.
Similar to Shadow of Mordor when you
And
find the
Assassin's
artifacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like there'd be like and tapes there was audio tapes and stuff that you could find as well.
I remember finding really cool because it was the first one takes place on like an island in the Pacific, and seeing all the Japanese soldiers that had been stationed there,
Yeah.
and all the Japanese World War II bunkers. That was really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Seeing those. Yeah, I'll definitely be getting it. Just maybe once the Christmas deluge is
Yeah.
cleared a little bit, and maybe prices come down.
There was also an article in the Metro today, I think, about Rhiannon Pratchett.
All right, okay.
Just
Did she
because-
write this one as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
She also writes a Tomb Raider comic.
So that was pretty cool. I didn't read it. I just saw it on Twitter.
I haven't read a Tomb Raider comic for well over 10 years.
Well, she rebooted it when she rebooted the series and stuff, but
That's
it
cool.
looks like the art is lovely and everything.
Yeah.
But
It
yeah.
develops the relationship between like Lara and Sam, I think. So
Okay.
it kind of gives it a bit more depth, more background.
What about her daughtery old butler?
I don't know.
Does he star in it?
I don't know.
Oh, that's disappointing.
No,
Wonder
he's
if she
just-
locks him in the fridge
Yeah,
at
he's
any
probably
point.
still stuck in the fridge. And I'm like, that's why he's not in the comic.
That's why he's still
Like,
alive.
what's that mumbling noise that I can hear? Just don't worry about it, Sam. It'll be fine.
And then he gets into Vault 111 because he's
It
frozen.
all makes sense.
Full circle.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, that's definitely one that we'll be talking about in a later episode.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
Another one. Once again, I think it'll probably just be me and Sophia that are interested in this one. But backwards compatibility has come to Xbox yesterday. I think it was.
I have to admit, like, I wasn't that impressed with the selection games.
No, I'm not really either. I think Mass Effect 1 means that we will see Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Yeah, but I wondered, like, if maybe I couldn't tell if they were holding off on 2 and 3 because they're still in the process of converting it, or if they're gonna just release a whole remastered collection and they were giving us one as like a flavor, like to be like, hey, remember this game? Here's this remastered collection of all 3.
It's certainly possible.
Which I wouldn't be against. Like, I'd play them again.
Mass Effect's systems, it's not just a visual upgrade that the first Mass Effect needs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm guessing you would have played it on PC,
Yeah.
which was significantly better than the console version.
Yeah.
Because inventory management is such a massive part of the first Mass
Yeah.
Effect.
Mhm.
Well, I originally played the trilogy on Xbox, and then I moved to PC, and I was just like, this is so much better.
Yeah.
But it's a shooting game, basically.
Yeah, it is, but it's the fact that everything you find, it doesn't have like a little indicator of, is this better or worse than what you're using?
Yeah.
And then it's not
So
just...
what do you do?
So
Pick up everything.
you pick up everything and then you...
Oh, then you find out later if it's
Yeah,
better.
well, you then have to open your inventory, find it, then go, right, and then compare it to yours.
But you,
And then you have to do that for your 2 companions as
and
well.
it's not just a matter of going into the inventory menu and just scrolling through all the characters. Everyone has their own locker on the ship. So you have to go to the lockers, go to your locker, swap it out, go to the next locker, swap it out, go to the next locker.
It just reminds
Is
me
it-
of why I love.
Is
the
that
second
just
one
when
so
you're
much.
off mission, though? Because
Yeah,
I think
that's-
when you're on mission, you're okay.
Well, yeah, but then you can only change your companions. Like if you want to. Keep
Oh, right, yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
gear
no,
up
you're
to
right.
scratch,
Yeah,
then you
you're
have to
right.
Oh, I
do
can't wait to start this.
It get like the second one is just like it's so good. So I would get through the first one mostly just so you have the story,
Mhm.
and then the
Yeah.
second one is where you want to spend all
Story,
your time.
story is where Mass Effect... Like, in terms of how the games line up, Mass Effect 1 has probably the weakest gameplay mechanics, but the strongest story.
Yeah.
And then 2 is kind of the sweet spot between both.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then I
yeah,
think
remember you
third
saying this.
third has the weakest story, but the best
best
shooting
gameplay.
mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying like the general feel of 3,
I mean, it feels like an action movie.
and I quite like. Sorry, we'll talk about Mass Effect again. We probably shouldn't be, but
It's
I just want
okay.
to say
No,
I
it's
quite
cool.
like that. You can be walking around the citadel and just overhear a conversation, and then it gives you a mission. But like, it got kind of annoying. Like, no spoilers, but a thing happened, and then I went back and people weren't there necessarily on the Citadel, and I'm like, fuck, like I needed to do this thing, and
Right.
And also it's like super creepy because you just walk up and you have this thing. And
yeah, nobody seems creeped
Okay,
out by
cool.
it. Like
It's
I'm
like,
like,
why
here's
are
this
you not
really
worried?
rare artifact
Yeah.
that you wanted, and they're just like, thanks, and it's like, well, come on.
Witcher can be a little bit like that as well. Now that I think about it. Well, once I got Hearts of Stone, I'll need to actually get around to playing that. Alice, you actually picked up Witcher 3 again.
Yeah, and then Fallout 4 came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I managed to get back into the swing of things. And, you know, I downloaded all the alternate outfits except, I think, Yennefer's, because one of them was, like, even more revealing than the normal outfit actually is.
For Yennefer.
It's either Yennefer or Triss.
Because Yennefer has cleavage, but there's not much more than that.
It might be Triss then. But I
Yeah.
really like Ciri's alternate outfit, and now that I'm progressing further into the story, like she's getting really fun to play as.
Yeah, she has. I guess Witcher's been out since June.
Yeah.
Ciri has a really
So
awesome.
I'm not giving spoilers for Mass Effect 3, but you can give spoilers for Witcher. What
well,
the fuck?
it's mostly just the mechanic. She has a really cool blink mechanic,
It's not like we're talking about why she has
Yeah.
powers.
Okay.
which is covered in the book as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she has this really cool blink mechanic that allows her. You kind of, it's like a press and hold, and like a UI circle expands around her, and then as soon as you let go of the trigger, she does like a series of like backstabs, and she like teleports behind guys.
Yeah.
She's really badass.
Yeah.
It kind of looks similar to in Shadow of Mordor when you can do like the dual block thing
Uh-huh.
with
Yeah.
the elfie guy.
Oh yeah, but that, to be honest, that is one of the best bits of that game.
Yeah.
Is it really makes you feel badass.
But it's that sort of thing because she appears like just
Yeah,
and everyone's dead and it's like you're so cool.
yeah. We'll have to maybe just have a spoiler cast.
Yeah, I like it when podcasts do a spoiler cast because it's like I really want to hear you talk more about this thing and stop censoring it. So.
Yeah.
But it also weirds me out because Ciri is female Hawk from Dragon Age 2 and it's like, I've already played as you, but you look different. Because it's literally the same voice.
Is
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, it's the same actress, but she doesn't really do a voice, she just kind of talks.
well,
as
of course,
herself.
my version of Hawk would be different from yours. That's
Yeah.
why I was so confused. I
still-
remember Dragon Age 2 limited you a lot more, and I thought maybe you could only play as male Hawk.
No, you can go female, but you have to be human.
Right.
That's all.
Okay. Yeah.
I still am really. I need to get onto Witcher 3. Like I don't know why I put it off when it first came out. I was just kind of like, oh, I'll get to it because I didn't play Witcher 1 or 2. But you've just spoke nothing but good things about it.
It is really
And,
good.
Like it looks gorgeous on
Mhm.
Xbox One.
Yeah.
And so, like, maybe that'll be another Christmas game like Tomb Raider and Witcher 3. I'll just sit and go
I
through
mean,
those.
There's always a lot of controversy about Witcher games because, you know, like there's the Playboy cover with Triss, and you know, in the previous two games, if you had sex with a woman, you got a card with her naked picture on it.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit creepy,
I didn't know that.
but that's only like on face value because if you play it, you realise that holy shit, Triss, Ciri, and Yennefer are not to be trifled with.
No,
Like,
not at all.
if you, as Geralt, dare to say, oh, you know, maybe I should go first, or maybe I would be better doing this, Triss basically tells you to fuck off.
That sounds amazing.
It's like, oh my god, I love all these women.
I wonder how many people got upset because masculinity is so fragile.
It's very much a kind of double-edged sword with that one. People will get offended on both sides.
Oh,
of that.
everyone
Yeah.
gets offended about everything. Like,
Yeah.
it happens.
The phrase "strong female character" gets thrown about a lot
Yeah.
nowadays, but you really feel like, at least in the Witcher universe, everyone is out for themselves,
Yeah.
and everyone is equally capable of taking care of themselves,
Mhm.
apart from Dandelion, who's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Let's not even talk about
He
that
has
now.
Geralt has a travelling minstrel as a
Mhm.
companion. He's kind of there for comic relief,
Right.
but he is a pain in the ass, and he always gets himself in trouble.
And then he
and you
goes
have to
around
bail him out.
telling people about how he saved Geralt from this horrible monster, and you just kind of, you get the option to be like, yeah, no, that's not what
You
happened.
can
or
call
to
him
be
on
like,
it, or
Yeah, Dandelion. I don't know what I'd do without him.
It already sounds like, you know, Ratbag in Shadow of Mordor, the little Uruk that you want to promote to War Chief, like right at the beginning. How
Yeah.
he's always like, yeah, I took down that captain, and you're just like, sure, Ratbag, whatever.
Yeah. Dandelion's at least a bit more likeable. Just annoying.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah. So one last game that I thought we would bring up, mostly just to antagonise Matt. It's
He's
this
gonna
little
be
known
like-
game. I know you've
We've
been
definitely
playing it.
never spoken about it before.
Lifeline.
Yes.
Matt is raging right now.
This game
Unbelievable.
that I am better at than Matthew.
So we have touched on it on the podcast before.
Matt spoke about it, and we all agreed that it sounded great, and then everyone left it alone for months. And
Yeah.
then this week, Alice and others in the office have been playing it non-stop.
I told somebody who recently got a smartwatch that, if you've got a smartwatch, there's a fun game to play on that called Lifeline, and he downloaded it, and then everyone downloaded it.
And they've all been walking around, like, discussing what they've done and different tactics, and Matt's just been sitting there like, no!
Alice has been walking around discussing what to do.
Yeah.
No one told me what to do.
You just
though.
heard what not to do.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
But basically, I didn't let Taylor die, and I.
So do you want to explain the concept first?
Okay, so
Should we let Matt explain the
No,
concept? So,
I'm
okay,
not, no.
okay.
No.
I don't want to.
No, it's fine.
It's basically a text adventure where you get messages from someone called Taylor in real life who's been stranded on a planet near Tau Ceti 4.
That's
I
fine.
never know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, I'll do.
It'll do.
I'm not being salty.
Okay.
Just a little bit of vinegar, though.
Yeah. And it's in real time, so it's pretty cool because he'll say that he's wandering off in this direction, and then a couple hours later he'll say, okay, right, so I've got there, and then you're given two options, and basically you just have to get Taylor off of that planet.
One of the things that I thought was quite interesting when all these guys are talking about it is, like, it's a text adventure, but you're not playing as you. You're trying to control someone else, and they will argue with you. Like, you'll be like, hey, go do a thing. He's like, nah. And it's like, no, this is my game. Do what I want to
Like,
do.
Taylor has a lot of personality. I think it's written by the guy who did Fables and The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, I heard that
All right.
as well.
Okay. Oh,
So,
pretty cool.
yeah, it's really good.
So you got to the end of it.
Yes, I saved Taylor, amongst other things that Matt did not do successfully.
Because I was a pioneer, and
Venturing into the
I
unknown.
completed the game successfully.
And you made your
Actually,
map and everything.
I made a map.
I
Exactly.
didn't make a map, so clearly making a map is the wrong decision.
Maybe if you spent more time looking after Taylor,
Yeah.
less time making a map.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
I can't. This,
Do we want Matt
is
to
what I've been
murder
dealing
us?
with
Come on,
all week.
guys.
Yeah. Crazy. No, it's a fun game though. I'm glad everyone actually
Yeah.
is playing it and like.
It's definitely worth £1.50.
Well, it's only 79 or something on the Apple Store.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
even
But
better.
on Android, yeah, it's £1.50-ish.
But yeah, as I say, the reason I told someone about it is because he had a smartwatch, and I imagine that's fun to do, like a little communicator from the future.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it just comes up saying message incoming or something.
Exactly, yeah.
It's really cool.
It's cool.
Okay, so moving on to films. Since we last recorded, there have been a swath of Star Wars trailers. I tried to hold out, managed maybe about half a day, and then I just buckled and watched them. So, have you guys all seen them?
Which ones are you referring to?
So there was the last trailer, and then there was the Japanese trailer
I haven't seen
that had a
any
bit of
Japanese.
extra footage.
And there was a teaser today.
There has been a TV spot. I think
Yeah.
it's about a minute long.
Yep, it's awesome.
I have not seen
You
that
don't
one.
need to see it though. It's a little bit too long of each scene. Things you don't necessarily want to see.
Okay.
But more importantly, have we all accepted that Jar Jar Binks is secretly a Sith? Because
No.
it's real, it's
the
happening.
most
Do you want
Stupidest
to
thing in
do you
the
want to
world.
explain your theory?
Darth Binks, as they've been calling him.
The royal they.
Yeah. No, it's just this thing that's sweeping across the internet. I saw someone share a picture of, like, Anakin, the Emperor, and Darth Maul, and it's a close-up of all their eyes, and then there's Jar Jar's eyes, and of course they're all yellow, so it's like, oh my god. It's the manifestation of the dark side. But yeah, there's like a huge fucking thread about it, like with loads of links to video clips that prove that he's a Sith.
Hashtag conspiracy.
But it's insane. Like, it's totally
ludicrous.
insane.
It really is.
But it would be amazing.
So there have, speaking of Star Wars conspiracy theories, there is one about who Luke Skywalker actually is,
Yeah.
because he's conspicuously absent from the poster.
And there's
Yeah.
that interview from years ago where J.J. Abrams was like, "Oh, I'd quite like to see an evil Luke Skywalker."
Yeah, make him a Sith.
Like, there's no way he is. I read a nice thing yesterday talking about just how there's no chance they would do that. The story arc of Luke, they're not going to suddenly say, oh yeah, but after all that he's bad. I would be very surprised if he
It is a bit like, because we've seen an image of him from what's presumably the next film. Like, he's done some shooting in costume.
Has he?
Yeah.
In the next film?
Yeah. I don't know if it was maybe just like shots of him, because it was in like a sterile studio. There's no other actors. I think it was maybe
in
just
his robe.
to see what he looks like in his robes. So
Oh, but do you mean episode 8?
yeah,
Well, why couldn't that be from episode 7?
I think it was because they had said that they'd wrapped shooting
Oh, okay.
for episode 7, and then this picture came out afterwards. And then there's also the story of Rey's lineage
Yeah.
and what is going on there.
And possibly someone else's.
Okay.
Yeah. But I like that Leia isn't referred to as princess anymore. She's a general.
All right. Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
I guess our planet is kind of gone.
You don't have to keep bringing it up. Okay?
Too soon.
People die.
Well, yeah. At my I had almost a Star Wars themed wedding, so
Was it almost Star Wars?
well, all the
pretty much.
tables had Star Wars names.
Okay.
And all the music.
Yeah, all the ceremony music was.
And you had a cantina band in the corner.
We were so close to having that as the intermission music while we signed the paper.
Amazing.
It was like every time music started playing, Keith's face just lit up, and I was like, no. Bad.
What, like he was going to start singing?
Just because it was Star Wars, and he was like, ah.
What? You're not allowed. This is a wedding, Keith. You are not allowed to smile. So we'll wrap up with a movie that people have actually seen. I haven't seen it yet, but Matt, I think, Alice, have you seen it?
No, I don't really care about James Bond, and
Okay.
that's getting me a lot of flack.
Well, like,
Okay.
I saw it and, like, I don't, like, love James Bond. Like, I watched, like, the Pierce Brosnan ones when I was a kid just because, like, we had them on video. And
That's
it would
probably
pass the
enough to
time.
put anyone off James Bond.
Whoa,
Like,
GoldenEye.
they
GoldenEye
were okay.
only.
Like, they, you know, they were
But that's
just,
pretty
they were a
much
bit silly.
what I've heard about the new one, is that it's okay.
Well, I liked it. Like, I was surprised because, like, I don't know. Like, I saw Quantum of Solace was kind of crap.
Yeah.
Casino Royale was okay, but it just felt a bit boring. Like, it's all like nothing really.
I liked Casino Royale, but I don't know how it would hold up looking back now, having seen Skyfall.
And, well, I didn't see Skyfall, but I saw Spectre, and I don't know, it was just an entertaining film, and I really liked the female protagonist as well. I thought she was awesome, so that was nice that there was a Bond film where it's not just a pretty girl on his
Who
arm.
is the female protagonist in this one?
Her name is like Lei Seydoux or something.
All right,
like
okay.
she's a blonde woman. She was in Inglourious Bastards, like, you know, when Christoph Waltz is down in and there's the family. She's got a really small role, basically, but yeah, she's awesome.
I know Monica Bellucci's in it.
She's in it for about 5 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. Hey, here's I think famously she's the oldest Bond girl.
Yeah,
And
and
she's
people
literally-
were getting really critical. It's like, it's Monica Bellucci.
Like, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just funny that she's just there for that. But I think people also forget that's just what happens in Bond movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So I've heard that one of the widest criticisms I've heard is that it leans too heavily on past Bond tropes. There's a lot of kind of knowing winks to previous
Absolutely.
Bonds.
Yeah.
they go to the place from on Her Majesty's Secret Service in the middle of the Alps.
All right,
It's
okay.
really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But this is I forgot it was a reboot. So effectively a reboot. I think was Casino Royale not a kind of new start.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, to see little things like that, because it's not technically been done before in this universe. It was cool to see these places. I didn't mind that.
Mhm.
I was exhausted when I went to see it, so I was a little confused throughout the whole movie, but it was fine.
Why were you confused?
The pictures and the newspaper articles of father and son die, and I was putting two and two together and getting 5. I was just off the pace of the movie, and it really confused me. But at the end, it was nice.
Yeah.
And I really like Christoph Waltz. He's cool.
He's
Mhm.
mental.
He's always a good villain.
He is. My
It-
brother had issue with the length of his trousers, though. There's a scene where he sat at a computer.
Oh, I know the exact scene.
And,
yeah,
like, they're
and he's not
halfway
wearing
up his
socks.
shin. It's awesome.
You can see his whole calf.
It was good because it was kind of like that. I am a psychopath and I don't care. Kind of thing. I don't wear socks. I'm mental.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just that kind of. He has the. Well, it's
Does he actually?
Christoph Waltz
Is he
jaw.
actually Blofeld?
I
or-
can't tell you
Come on,
that.
fucking spoilers, man. Jesus
Okay.
Christ. But I thought it was entertaining. Like, if you just want a night at the cinema to watch a film that will entertain you, it was good.
He has a really good jacket as well.
Oh right,
It
okay.
looks a lot like Blofeld's actually.
Oh. Does he have a cat?
Yeah, he does. He does have a cat.
And his introduction is really cool when there's a giant meeting on the
On the
Shit.
volcano.
Yeah.
The head guy's missing, but then like mid sentence,
Better than the guy's head's
the
missing.
doors open and a shadowy figure walks in and,
And-
sits down, sits for a whole 60 seconds in the room, and then leans towards the microphone. Don't let me stop you, or something crappy like that, and it's just that kind
And
of.
he's just
oh,
in
shit.
shadow the whole time. Yeah.
He's a creepy guy. It's
One
cool.
thing that I thought was really weird, like obviously Bond films, their intros, they have the Bond theme go at the whatever Bond music it is for that film, and they've got women in silhouettes dancing around. They had an octopus slithering on a naked woman, and I was like, have they ever heard of anime? And
Japan.
Yeah.
I was just like,
What?
the trope about tentacles in Japanese hentai.
Oh.
Is this Matt playing? I think that's Matt playing dumb.
No, I really don't.
So
I
I just-
never thought of that.
I-
Sorry.
It was the first thing that popped into my
It
head.
is
I was like,
a very powerful
I'm sorry,
Japanese.
I just
no
thought
reason
it was
to not
weird.
use that.
no, I know, but
No.
it would just,
It's evocative.
yeah, I don't know. It just, to me, it just had so many other connotations to just being like, oh, so look at how sexy, whatever. It was just hentai.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's something else Matt's going to Google later.
I'm not putting any of that in the vlog, but
yeah,
Yeah.
just a nice link.
If I come back to work on Monday, just terrified.
it's just it's a quite well known trope.
No,
in
I think I know what you're
anime.
talking about,
Yeah.
but
And I don't
I
think
didn't.
it's the
It
worst
certainly
thing we've
didn't.
made you Google.
It didn't sound it not. No, I'm sure I guess I know what they're on about, but no.
I just
I'm not
thought it was
an
weird for them
extensive
to include
researcher.
it.
Because Spectre's, I'm guessing Spectre's emblem is
Yes.
the octopus.
There is an annoying part where a diamond ring is put on a scanner on a laptop, a flatbed scanner.
Yeah.
A
effectively.
Sony laptop, surely.
Yeah, yes, of course it is. Virus everywhere. And from this flat scan of one face of a ring, you get these pictures
It
of
was
all
so
the previous bad guys from the movies. This is all linked. What is it being worn by each one of them? What's going
It was
on?
really
Were they
stupid.
handpicked to rise and fall in each movie? It's the most outrageous. It really pissed me
I did really fancy Q though, so I was okay with it.
Q's
I was like,
awesome.
whatever, sure.
But it's just stupid. Don't give
It's
me
kind of
this-
modern nerdy Q, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, speaking of outrageous IT, Mr. Robot is fucking fantastic.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited that that's now
And you should
streaming in the
watch
UK. I really want to see it. I've heard nothing but good things.
Rami Ishmael.
Rami
Funky.
Malek.
Rami Malek.
But it's amazing. I finished the first season the other day and I was
Mhm.
like, holy shit, my
Yeah.
mind is all
Everything
over
I've
the
heard-
walls because my
Yeah.
brain
In a
is-
kind of spray of matrix numbers and letters.
But everything that they do with the computers is realistic. When you see snippets of him typing out code, it's actual code.
Awesome.
I like the
I might
thought,
get on that
the
this
first
week and
5
watch
minutes, he's typing away, and then the next half hour of the episode, he's just sat back watching his code compile.
Yeah.
Probably have some chips or something.
Just like marquee
No,
behaviour
but
equals all
it
text.
is-
Text goes back and forth across the screen.
It is really good, and I thoroughly recommend it. To
Yeah,
people.
I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I'm so excited it's now on Amazon Prime. And the main criticism I've heard is that the name is stupid, and like if
Yeah.
that's the only criticism
But
of your
there's-
show, you've done well.
It does also sound like an anime, actually.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it's called Mr. Robot, and it's
He was
like
it's
it's just. I just
sent
can't
from the
even
future.
talk about
Yeah,
it.
I'm excited.
That is a ringing endorsement from Alice there.
I can't even words. It gets to like 3 episodes from the end, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening? I have no
Awesome.
idea.
That's good.
And I don't even know what's happened for the rest of all of the stuff that I've watched because nothing is real anymore.
Cool.
It's good.
Cool. Well, I will bring our episode to an end there. Thank you very much for listening to this, and we will. Oh yes, you can catch up with us at splittingpixels.info.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.